Hello, everybody, and welcome to what is, for me, a very exciting episode. This is my first official Rimworld video, episode 1. This is Darren from Teal Dragon Gaming, Teal Wolf, and a couple other names on YouTube, but hey, it's me. And today we will be starting a brand new colony on a little game called Rimworld. It's a kind of a management sim survival game. Pretty sandboxy. It's very, very random and randomly generated. A lot of events and stats and stuff. I think the concept's loosely based on an older game called Dwarf Fortress, I believe it was. Haven't played it myself, but I've heard of it a little bit. So in Rimworld, we're going to go ahead and start it up here. I'm gonna make a new colony, and I'll kind of explain as I go. You get to choose how you want to start with. I got a couple custom ones, but these are the vanilla options here. We got crash landed. This is the basic one. I think we're gonna start with this one. Did I don't think I edited any of these, but this is probably the basic one. Start with 3 colonists. We're gonna choose from 8. We'll see as we go. We're gonna crash land on a random planet. You can specify the name of the seed for the planet. I might go ahead and make one just in case anybody wants to use this one. It kind of randomly rolls. Not sure how it does exactly, but anyways, you can see what we start with. A few things: inventory. Someone's going to be scattered on the map. We'll kind of see as we go. And it also affects the research level you start off with. Crash landed, you only get 3 people, but you're a bit more advanced, get more stuff. It's a trade-off. And got lost tribe. You start off as a tribe from the planet, and you start off with more people, but less stuff and lower technology, so it's a little bit harder. It gives you a vague description there. Rich explorer, just 1 person, but you get a lot of support and stuff. And then naked brutality. So you start off with a whole lot of nothing and then just try to survive, which probably won't happen, but you never know. Anyways, we're gonna go for the crash landed classic scenario. For the goal for this one's just gonna kind of be to play and see how it goes. Maybe I'll finish off the series by launching the ship. You crash landed, so the goal is to get off the planet. Probably not with starting people. I doubt any of them will survive if the colony survives at all. But yeah, maybe they'll survive that long. We'll see. So I'm just gonna try to survive, have fun, and we'll see what the game wants to throw at us. Now, let's go ahead and see what we're working with. Difficulty. We're gonna go with Cassandra. I think kind of the more balanced storytellers. Gonna be animal attacks and raids and all that fun stuff. I think we're going to go with adventure story. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's from World. Any difficulty is difficult. Let's be honest here. Usually I play on community builder, so that's a little bit tamer. Get a raid every now and then, but we're gonna go for what I think passes for a normal, maybe, in Rimworld. It's for fun. We'll see what happens. And we can actually play with the difficulty and even the storyteller in-game, so we'll kind of see how it goes if it stays entertaining and everything. The storyteller just kind of dictates what types and difficulties and pacing of events that will happen. Now you can also select, there's commitment mode, which is basically the Iron Man. It's one save only. So basically it won't be saving or reloading if you pick that option. I do like to play with mods every now and then, so I like to be able to reload in case something really buggy or catastrophic happens, and because I'll be LPing this, I kind of want a little bit of control over manipulating saves and stuff if need be, just for consistency. I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to tell if I cheated a little bit. And I'll try to be honest about if I need to do any administrative tweaking to the save file, but basically just want to give it an honest go, honest playthrough. And a big part of the appeal of this game is the concept of failing forward, so bad stuff is going to happen, might lose some colonists, but the story goes on. So the game only ends, like obviously if you finish and make the ship, or if everybody in the colonists dies and there's no recovering or anything. So another game that does that is Darkest Dungeon. So you're playing the story more than the individual colonists, and this is more of a top-down management sim. So we can get attached to the colonist at your risk. Some bad things may happen, or not. We'll see. Anyways, we're going to pick reload for now, just in case. I'll try to keep it to minimal saves. I'll keep a little bit of rotation going just in case something happens to the save file, there's some weird update goes on, mod breaks, etc. Oh yeah, mods in this, I'm going to try to keep it minimal to this playthrough. No extra like alien races or overpowered weapons. I'm more of I got some minimal quality of life ones I'll maybe put in the description below, but for this basically just vanilla Rimworld as of January 28th, 2021, so it updates occasionally, you get DLC or whatever. I forget if I have the Royal DLC installed. I don't think I do, but maybe I'll pick that up eventually, do playthrough with that. Alright, and let's continue on. Oh, what do we want to call this? We'll just call it Darren's World, because why not? All lowercase, one word, no punctuation. You can tweak the rainfall and temperature and population and globe coverage. We're just going to kind of go with the default here. And that's the seed if you want to play in the same world, if you care to. And you can always enter a specific one if you want to. I'm going to generate it. It's going to load up for a bit. Yep, I don't have the DLC right now. And there's a list of the mods for now. One really useful one is rim saves. That's really nice. You can basically make save profiles. Very handy for multiple playthroughs rather than all your saves being just kind of in one giant list, which is annoying. Here is Rim Planet, the Rim World. This kind of Randomly generates the continent and names of stuff. Got Mindelbaum Field, that's the Arctic Circle. This planet only has one face to it. There's half a circle there, Arctic Circle. It's all kind of one continent. But if it covered the entire planet, well, that would be very, very laggy. Maybe I'll experiment with it at some point to see how much coverage I can get. Anyways, these little tents and things are the different factions. They have different settlements owned by that faction. Generally, the red ones are permanently hostile and aggressive. The others can be negotiated with. You can trade, you can declare war on them, you can make peace, make alliances, that kind of thing. That'll play in as we go. Here's a faction spot and get a look at them. We have the Eastbanor Unification, their Civil Outlander Union, Prime Councilor is Chris Draper. It shows the list of which factions are at war with. I don't know if it shows alliances later. I'll have to peek back in on that. But you also got Anavunt, Rough Outlander Union. These ones are going to be hostile. Use a brief little description. The goodwill will deteriorate over time. So it's kind of normalized, but generally we're going to have 2 soft hostile factions and 2 neutral ones. So if we want to stay at peace, we'll have to trade and give them gifts and stuff to those ones if we feel like it. Otherwise they're going to attack us every now and then. Will be open season for them. The neutral ones, they won't raid us. They'll send visitors or trading caravans every now and then. If we have a high reputation, they'll be at least available for an alliance, and then they could potentially send aid or something like that. Or I haven't really gotten that far, but we could potentially send aid to them, maybe. But anyways, the permanently hostile factions down at the bottom. I'm just going to call it the Nash Treaty and the Unstoppable Team. So pirates and raiders and stuff like that. So we'll be interacting with them later. Right now, our objective is to find a spot to crash land. Now there's just gonna check here. Can we drop in the circle? Oh, we can drop in the circle, but I don't believe we can drop into the ocean. Otherwise, we would probably instantly start drowning, or the game just wouldn't let us. So you will see the different biomes, different types of environments. There's like deserts, mountains, swamps, forests, that kind of thing. Gives you a little description. There's a tundra, there's desert. We got their ice sheet. Excuse me. Got a boreal forest, temperate swamp. Should be not a whole lot of jungle. I guess there's some. A little teeny tiny bit at the bottom. It's mostly desert on this map, which is great. I have a terrible planet. We've got like, was that like 30-40% vegetation coverage? Not great. On this little thing, it shows you the longitude, latitude, brief little description of it, the average temperature, movement difficulty. As you got trade caravans, it's gonna slow you down with movement difficulty. 1 is pretty easy to traverse. 0.5 because it's on a road, so it's much less. And a stone road. That's just kind of randomly generated at the beginning. You can't actually make roads that I'm aware of. That maybe in a mod or something like that, but not the vanilla game. You also have impassable terrain, mostly from mountains. You'll have your own thing, so you'll have to go around, and you can also use it as a natural barrier. Let's see here. So I'm gonna check on that river. Yeah, the river doesn't seem to affect the movement. It's just the type of environment, so the swamp there. So that's something to keep in mind. Generally, I like kind of average temperate areas with lots of access to resources, distance from enemies, etc., etc. I think I am going to go for a mountain colony, at least somewhat, to have lots of mining available and natural defense. The trick is going to be kind of placement. Seems like, yeah, they're kind of placed along roads for the most part. There's not, actually all of them are, I think. All of them have roads, except for that one right there. We'll kind of see here. Not going to set up by too many red ones if I can. Double check who's hostile. Blue doesn't like us. Purple and yellow are cool, so we'll keep that in mind. And of course, most of yellow is out in the desert and badlands, so that's not great. How about purple? Purple hardly has anything. That's kind of annoying. Oh, there's some yellow there. And 2 purple there. Just gonna take a look around for a minute, see what I want to set up in. I would like to be near a road, don't have to be on one. Also, I think it gives a faction debuff if you start too close to them. They'll take that as aggression or something like that. You start off with 1 settlement. You can actually found additional ones if you want. I think the game doesn't recommend it because of stress on the engine or how your computer is. Let me check advanced. Nothing important there. I'll double check on the settings later. I want to make sure it lets us found multiple colonies, because eventually I may want to do that, have a mining settlement or just a trading network, something like that. I'm seeing some options here. Probably thinking about this area along the stretch. Got 2 semi-friendlies. There's lots of aggressive ones around, but it can't be helped. I'm gonna try to find the most friendly options, and there's also this nice road here. Can have options for trading right off the bat. I think I'm gonna go ahead and plop down right in between them. Let's see, we got large hills. I think that's gonna be the one right there, or nope, even better. Yeah, I do want mountainous, less farmland and stuff, but it's it should still have plenty available. Animals and stuff. We're not really gonna be hunted past the very early game doing the hunter-gatherer thing. We're gonna end up farming, and with technology you can do indoor farming and stuff later if you really want to. I'll kind of describe as we go the strategy for it, but I want to pick temperate, average temperature 36 to 80, so That's pretty decent. A little bit cool during winter, a little bit warm during the summer, but not too bad. This is in Fahrenheit. I don't know if right now I can swap that, but basically, oh, that'd be like 20 Celsius or something like that. I'm not sure. Temperate area, temperate forest. A little bit of movement difficulty on that tile, but right nearby there's movement 1 and 0.5 by the road, so should be able to get in between our hopeful trading partners pretty easily. Good access. They should wander through every now and then. We might get some raids from the Unstoppable Team or the Noga Kinship. Eventually we might try to make peace with them or something. We'll kind of see how that goes. And then the Nash Treaty up there. But they're a ways away, and Rimworld won't throw raids at you immediately, but they will start coming in if you aren't on peaceful, like a couple days in, something like that. A year in Rimworld is, I believe, 60 days. There are 4 seasons. Each season is composed of 15 days. So you have, I think you can change when you start. It's set to automatic or something right now, but basically you're going to start day 1 of spring. And season, I don't think actually dictates when you plant. It's the temperature, I think. Probably. But generally, if it's a bad temperature, you can't grow. If you start way in the south, you can plant even during winter. Temperate, it's gonna be, like early to mid-spring through middle of fall, probably autumn. We'll see when we go in. Is there anything else I want to talk about while we're on the starting site? Is there a name for this little area? I guess not. Got mountains, Bad Goose Grove, Annular Rainforest. Yeah, we don't got a name for a little area, but we'll name our settlement eventually. Yep. And before this drags on for too long, I'm just gonna go ahead and set up shop. What is that? Large Hills Mountainous. Yeah, I think we want that one. Alright, select random site. We don't want that. Factions. I think we're all set. So let's go forward. And here we see the list of characters that we're gonna pick from. A little bit of information to throw at you to start off with. We're going to be wanting to look for certain traits, probably. You can't, at least in vanilla, with the character editor, you can mess with stuff, but we're going to do a random colony, like vanilla wanted us to. Because of our starting thing, we get to, basically our ship's going to crash land. 3 of us are going to be in the same colony together. Our default starting name's New Arrivals. It will let you change that eventually, once you kind of hung around for a bit. We get to pick 3 of our 8 that we crashed with. There may be relationships and things between the characters, father, son, siblings, potential lovers. And it denominates male, female, their age. It's basically their age they've experienced that they've been conscious for. The one in parentheses there is their chronological age, because of proper name escapes me, but cryo sleep basically while they're on the ship for the long journeys to cut down the life support and all that. So their actual age may be more than their what they've been awake for. I guess during cryosleep they don't age because their metabolism's frozen, but not really important. It starts off with their names. It'll actually let you rename them if you like. It gives you example of their childhood, what they were known for, during their adulthood, what they do. It gives you a breakdown of how good they are at the different skills. The number is the rating. It has a little graphical display for the bar there to kind of give you a different idea. That little flame icon is their passion in it. 1 is a minor passion, 2 is a burning passion. That affects how quickly they gain experience for that skill. So, for example, Hiroto Howard will learn mining, cooking, and medical quicker than the other skills. The default is 35% speed learning for a skill. Minor passion will give you 100%. And burning passion, if we can find one, will give you 150%. So that's kind of how those work. Shooting, how good you are with ranged weapons and stuff. Melee weapons and unarmed combat. Construction, how good you are at building, deconstructing, and making furniture. How good you are at skill develop. It affects your success rate at achieving whatever that skill is connected with, and the potential quality of whatever you're making. With crafting, there's different qualities of items you can make, from, I believe, awful to poor to normal, good, excellent, and masterwork is the best. Well, we'll see that as we go, but that's kind of how that works. Mining, that's your yield and speed, I think, from mining, obviously. Cooking, lower skill cooks, there's a chance of food poisoning, and certain things require a certain level of skill to make them. So I haven't checked with cooking, but for fine meals or whatever the best one is, you might need a higher cooking level. I forget. Plants is an example of one. There's you need a certain skill level to plant a certain crop. There's animal taming and general care. Plants for farming. That's also plant cutting, harvesting wood, stuff like that. Cooking is cooking. Crafting, making items, weapons, tailoring, because you do need to make clothes, things of that nature. Artistic, I don't really call it artistic, not art, but anyways, art makes art and things. Art you can sell for silver is the standard currency in Rimworld. And it also provides a mood boost to your colonist's mood is very important in this game, and because if it gets too low, they'll have a mental breakdown and start fights, set things on fire, go catatonic, and just you lose control over them. So that's kind of bad. And you also get lots of benefits for having them in a good mood. They'll get along, develop relationships. They occasionally will get inspired and get really good at a skill for a little while. And moving on, medical, also important. So we might actually keep this guy here. Medical, attending wounds and stuff like that. Social, talking to people, wardening. Occasionally you'll capture prisoners, negotiating, trading, how good of a deal you get, bartering. Intellectual, pretty important. You can train that over time. With you mostly need it for research. Mostly it affects your speed of research, so you can get new items and technology and all that. Over on the left here, it'll say what each colonist can't do and kind of some traits. It's affected by kind of their backstory and stuff. He's afraid of fire, but at least he's not a pyromaniac. But he's good at firefighting, but kind of got scared because of patients in the burn ward, so he's not going to go anywhere near fire. And a housemate, made him good at cooking and crafting and medical, so big medical boost there. Also has bloodlust, which makes him likely to start a fight, and he doesn't mind the sight of death. So that means he's going to be a good fighter, because he also has tough, so he takes half damage. Doesn't have a whole lot of skill in fighting to start off with, but that's not necessarily a problem, because he'll train over time. So we can keep him for cooking, he can be our doctor. Also, unfortunately, corpse disposal, because we'll be getting into fights and having raids and stuff, so it's good to have somebody who doesn't mind burying and disposing of them, because we'll have to handle that, and because normally people don't like dying or the sight of death, so that'll give them a mood debuff. Whereas with people with bloodlust or other traits, they won't mind that. What else we have? Health. Any usually negative health problems. He's got a scar on his left leg. So it's going to reduce the efficiency. So he's going to have pain from that, which isn't great because it causes a mood debuff. So he's going to be slower and in pain, but it's going to be pretty minor. So it's not unmanageable, and no relationships. This bottom panel shows the kind of the overall highest skills for our selected colonists. So we've kind of looks like he's got the highest traits of. Yeah, that can't be right. Oh, yeah. He's actually got the most skills of most people here. Because if you look, there's a person with 1 more construction and 2 more intellectual, but he's got like the best stats overall. And then moving down, you've got Nicholas Archer. This one is a pyromaniac, so he loves to start fires. Not the greatest idea. Also has asthma. That's going to be a permanent disability, I believe. You'll have to treat that every now and then. I don't think they ever heal from that. I think one way is to you can actually do surgery and make artificial organs and limbs and stuff like that with technology. So that would be an option to replace those eventually, but I don't really want to deal with that. Down here you can see the relations with certain people. So he is the father of, no, that is his father is Nag, I believe. Yeah. And then he also has a daughter. That's kind of that number there is kind of their opinion of each other. See, different traits affect that. Like daughter gives a boost. Creepy breathing. People don't really like that. and that one's just the basic 30 for being a relationship. Let's see, faction leader. Oh, interesting. They're a leader of whatever faction they're in. What else was I gonna say? Nimble, good melee and dodge. Pyromaniac, they will not put out fires, and they will frequently start fires, which is kind of annoying to manage. Give them bonus to art for some reason, but a debuff to other things. Apparently being a male man makes you good at melee, I guess from fighting off dogs. Yeah. He likes melee. He likes fighting a lot, he likes starting fires, and he's artistic. Not a whole lot that helps us, though. I mean, art is nice for money, and beauty for the settlement, but not essential, especially to start off with. We can worry about that later. Now, Odile Travis is incapable of violence, so they will not hunt and they will not fight. I would like everybody to be able to fight to start off with because we are limited to 3 characters, so I'll have to rethink that. Is depressed, so he's always going to have mood debuff. Again, not great. Too smart, makes them learn faster, but they will also could break easier from their mood being bad. So not too sure about you, because we actually already have a better doctor. So we're going to go down the list and see what else we have to work with. I'm going to go a little bit quicker just to, you can kind of see here what the different descriptions are. Pain, a very damaged eye, hard worker, beautiful but abrasive. Again, high art, high social, that's pretty valuable for I use it a lot for recruitment. It's also nice for good prices for trading, I believe. And peace talks, so there's a lot of things. So, Leah Liu. That would be a really good option. Also a lover already of Odile. So, I'm going to have you replace Archer, I think. If we end up picking them, it would be nice because they're already friendly with each other, they won't start fights, and they will also have a very nice mood booster from them being lovers. So that'll prevent them from breaking. Now, just in case, let me look and see what else we have to work with. Good with animals, that's okay. Slothful, not great. Won't clean, won't do art. A lot of injuries on y'all. Really good social, but so there's a 5, there's a 12 there. So we're already pretty much covered there. Yeah, why isn't art showing up? Because we have a really high art skill from our team. Oh well. Maybe it'll fix later. That one's okay, not really what we're looking for. Mining is alright. I don't like colonists that won't do dumb labor, because especially if there's only 3 people, they really need to be all pulling their own weight. So it would be good if we have everybody capable of doing as much as possible. So we have one that won't fight and one that won't put out fires. So it's not amazing, but we'll kind of see here. Hard worker, that's good. Steadfast is good. Greedy is not really great. Mood debuff if they don't have the best place. don't really care about a lot of things we're good at. We already have a better social. Art's not super important to start off with, and Leah's really good at it. So moving on. Won't study, won't cook, won't do art. Bloodlust, greedy, sickly. Yeah, I do not like this one at all. They're really good at construction and medical, but not really great at anything else they can shoot. It's okay. Unethical doctor. Nervous and misogynist. Won't do them. Yep, these are... A lot of them are pretty awful. Not that great. But that's random for you. Because I could randomize each individual one, maybe get some better ones. Let me see what we're kind of lacking here. We have a 4 mining. So we're going to be kind of bad with fights, which isn't the worst thing, but it's not great either. How about studying? We have a 4. It's pretty slow. Zero construction. Yep. So we're gonna be bad at building. See, mining, cooking, art, social, medical. This might be something we can work with. It's not awful. We have medical and social. We do have a chef. We have a depressed person, -12. That's going to be annoying, but hopefully they'll be balanced out by them having a lover. Disfigured. That's interesting. What is that from? Oh, it's from the left eye. So yeah, that's considered disfigured, so it's a debuff to their relationship. But yeah, well, you know what? Without too much further ado, I think we're just gonna go for it and see how Hiroto, Leah, and Odile work out. And we might run into these other people eventually. Got some sons and daughters and fathers, and actually granddaughter. Interesting. Yep. Let's see how this colony starts out. Again, you can see the mod list there. The 3 of you awake in your cryptosleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to escape the pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Alright, we are crashing in the ruins of a mausoleum here. So that could potentially actually be our starting building here, if we really wanted to. It's an option. If you look over on the right here, you can change the speed. I have it paused right now so we can make some decisions and stuff. You got play. You could do fast, you could do really fast, but we're not going to do that right now. Just going to take a lay of the land here. Got quite a bit of mountain. It's not as much real estate, but is really good for we're gonna need minerals and stuff like that. And also it's really good insulation from temperature. Something to consider. Now, as you can see here, we got our sometimes we call them pawns. There are the colonists here. You can see kind of what clothes they got. Just kind of default synth thread, which is just kind of a space technology synthetic thread, whatever. Down here we got crash, got our items. The red X means that they are not allowed to interact with it without you directing them to. And you can see that's the quality I was talking about earlier. You can see the quality of the pants. Most of the stuff should be normal to start off with. Here is the health of the item. It is deteriorating because of it being unroofed and outdoors. So most items you want to put inside so that it preserves them, unless you just don't care about the item. Steel and silver, those do not have health points. You can just leave those outside. I don't find it happening too often, but raiders will sometimes just steal your stuff and leave. Usually they're there to just kind of attack and kill your settlement. But sometimes if they're outmatched or just can't get to you or whatever, they'll just kind of leave. So what we start off with, we got some wood scattered around. We got some packaged survival meat. Packaged survival meat will not spoil, so you don't have to worry about that, but you do have to keep it inside, otherwise it will go bad. Well, it won't. You'll be able to eat it, but it'll eventually get destroyed. We will be having to cook meals, which will spoil over time unless you keep them refrigerated or frozen. We'll worry about that when we get there. We got a couple of weapons to hunt and defend ourselves. We got a plasteel flag element. That's actually pretty good. Some flag plants. Those are steel? Yes. Well, probably. They're made out of something anyways. Got some medicine, very helpful. Got some scraps of the ship that impacted. Components, those are very valuable. You need components for most appliances. We're going to need a lot of those later. Steel, just for general construction and stuff. Many appliances. Wood is pretty available. You see all the trees we got here to harvest, so we're going to be primarily making things out of wood for a while because it's pretty renewable. Generally speaking, this is it. This is all we got for rock and minerals, metals, etc. So that's why I like having a mountainous region. We got lots to work with. You can mine the blocks, build things out of them, make art, etc., etc. There are even a couple of different types. There's limestone, there's sandstone. Do we have anything else on this map? I'm not seeing a whole lot. Lime and sand. Do we have slate or anything? I don't see any. There's a steel wall from a previous settlement. We can claim that if we want later. Nope, that looks like we have limestone and sandstone for our building options. Or wood, or steel. We'll see. Let's see if I find a good spot here. You will find the ores. They look like this. There's compacted machinery. Not really sure what, maybe some previous civilization. So we can tell our miners to, well, our colonists to mine that if we want by clicking the little icon there. That'll give them an order to do so. They will not usually directly do it, but they have kind of priorities. Let's see here, work. We're gonna put that in manual. Yep, so we can see listed here, these are kind of like tasks, tasks that the colonists will perform throughout the day. You can prioritize them because they just kind of automatically do them in the order that they feel like. If you can see, I got these numbers here. I'm gonna actually go ahead and crank up a few of these just to make sure they always get done. We want them flipping switches and opening doors. We want them getting bed rest if they're injured, being a patient, and fighting fires, even though one of them will not fight fires because they're terrified of fire. I forget what phobia that is. I actually got 2 decent doctors. That's quite nice, actually. So if we do get in a fight, we'll have that covered. We're always going to want to grow our colony, but hopefully we'll have enough traits and stuff to survive to start with. I'll come up with their tasks later, but just to show you, so they will, if they're set to mining, they will go do the mining that I showed you earlier. And now if you see this kind of purple gray area, that's undiscovered. If you look in the bottom left hand corner, it'll show you kind of description of what the stuff is. We only know what we've seen. So we got like rough limestone. We actually can't walk inside of a wall. At least we would hope that that wouldn't be the case. But if we did, we would have reduced walking speed, 87%. I feel like actually most of it is 87%. It's a little bit rough terrain, so they won't walk as quickly. And there's light to contend with. There's a lot of factors going on. We'll kind of get acquainted with that as we go. There's quite a bit of options and stuff going on. It's telling us we need beds. People will need beds, otherwise they have to sit on the sleep on the ground, and that'll make them unhappy. Half of this game is making your colonists happy, and the other half is keeping them from dying, basically. So if you accomplish that, then you've basically won the game. So just keep doing that for forever. Yeah. We have a person set to hunting. Hiroto does not have a weapon yet, so we're going to remedy that. I won't, I think, actually be doing that much hunting. At least not currently. We're just going to focus on farming, I think. These berries, or well, the bushes we can harvest for berries. If you look at the harvest option, shows up a little scissor icon. They will eventually come over, harvest, and that'll create some berries, and then we can either eat the berries or cook them in a meal later. Oh yeah, real quick, if you look, this is a sandstone tile, walk speed 100%, so that's a proper floor. We'll want those eventually. Yeah, I think I might just turn this into our main building. Maybe a little bit morbid having the, well, it calls them steles, kind of memorials. Yeah, because nobody's actually buried within them. I'll show you the burial stuff later. So these will provide a attractiveness, a beauty buff, which will boost the mood of the people. We're probably excuse me. We're gonna have this be our main room where we'll have our entertainment. We'll have them eat here, do dances, whatever they feel like doing. We'll have to make bedrooms for them eventually. For now, they'll just kind of do everything in the same building. So let's look at needs. As you can see here, there's their mood. Little kind of give you a scalar representation. Don't drop below those little lines there because they become at risk of breaking, and you lose control of them, and they might start fights. It's really bad. So just keep the mood buff high. I know this episode's running pretty long, but this is the introduction, and I want to kind of introduce a lot of this to start off with. We'll cover things again as we go, and they will also require food. Eventually they will starve to death if you leave it at 0 for long enough. It'll show up in health that they are malnourished. Then you'll have starvation. It'll give you a little warning. This is rest here. If it gets to 0, they'll pass out and just kind of sleep wherever they are. Recreation keeps their mood up. And these are smaller factors which come into their mood: how comfortable they are, how attractive the area is. Most people like being able to go outdoors and get some fresh air and stuff. They'll be expecting to be able to go outside eventually. And that's kind of a breakdown of their current things affecting their mood. Otherwise it'll gravitate towards 50%. You see that little green arrow? It means that their current mood is increasing. The filled blue bar is how much it's at, and that little white arrow is where it's set to go up to based upon their general traits and whatever, moodlets, whatever you want to call that. Now to start off with, we have low expectations because we just crash landed. We're not expecting to have the Ritz-Carlton to live in right now. And initial optimism. So it's a tough situation. They're kind of girding themselves to survive. And you can kind of see some little, and not so little, animals running around. They're gonna kind of go about their days, do hunting. We got several predators actually, which could be semi-dangerous, but they're probably going to go for the easier prey, the wildlife around them. And another fun thing we can do is we can actually kind of scavenge off of their kills, because sometimes they won't eat all of the animals. They might leave them, and then we can kind of butcher and then cook the meat from the animals they leave left over. That is our kitten named Bladed. You do not have a master. Just obviously keep your animals alive if you are interested. Keep them fed, and then somewhere for them to sleep. Otherwise they're just going to sleep on the ground. I'm going to try to keep our cat alive and away from the predators because it would make a great meal for this grizzly bear, or we got a warg up here that's basically a big bad wolf type creature. I've got an actual wolf, timber wolf over there. And we do have the option to hunt or tame basically any of these. They have different difficulties. Let's show, yeah, it's not going to show the, oh wait, here we go. Wildness, that's how difficult they are to train, tame, or handle. 75%, so reasonably difficult to tame a deer. Timber wolf, 85%, even tougher. So basically it's going to be the smaller animals are easier. Advanced trainability. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Wildness, 3%, so extremely difficult, let me try that again. Extremely easy to tame them. Domesticated animal. So we might actually pick one of them up for, because I believe donkeys, we can train them to haul stuff, which is really nice for caravans. And I don't remember if they can rescue people, which is also quite nice. Normally that's something your colonists have to do. I'll just kind of explain things as I think of them. Some of the stuff won't really matter until later, so we need to start setting up our camp. And with the beginning of our camp, I think I'm gonna end the episode here, and then they'll kind of give us a good starting point. Give you a brief little introduction. Yep, that was a brief introduction to Rimworld. I'm sure I've covered half of the concepts that are involved in this. As we go, we'll kind of see how that is. And later on, I probably won't talk as much. Just kind of play as we go. Like I'm playing, but I'm also trying to explain and kind of provide a little bit of a tutorial. I'm not the best Rimworld gamer, but I played a few runs, so I can kind of give at least a basic introduction. So hopefully that served as something for you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.